Well, episode. Tomorrow we're gonna do the actual thing. Okay. Vince, let's just get right to it. Kyrie drops 24 against the Mavs, and Luka's thoughts on him snaking another team.
Okay,
Now,
I wouldn't stop saying snaking. Like he's.
well, that's basically what it is. He's just leaving every single team he goes to and can't last 1 year.
All right, if KD left first and then he asked for a trade, would that be snaking? Is he gonna snake? They're losing. Brooklyn's collapsing right now.
Well, let's look at where Kyrie's been. Like, look at every single team he's went to: Cavs, Nets, Celtics. Every single team he's went to. Bye bye.
Yeah, I mean that's just how that's how the game goes.
I mean, he promised the Celtics that he would, stay with them forever. But that's what everyone says. But he's like, I'll keep playing there. I like it. But then no, he just left.
I mean, he wants to go wherever he wants. Like I wouldn't say that good, but he's pretty good. I mean, he's just gonna go wherever he wants to play.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say ring chasing, but he definitely doesn't want to be at a rebuilding team.
I don't know. What about KD to the Suns?
I think it's a good trade. I mean, now Suns looking pretty good. I mean, still got
Devin Booker.
Yeah, D-Book.
CP3.
I mean, 0 rings, but
I don't know. I mean, KD though, he's another guy that just jumps from team to team.
We got traded. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it didn't come out that he requested.
He spent like most of his career Thunder, and then he went to the Warriors for 1 year, left them, won a title, and went to the Nets. Then just stayed there for a little while. Then everyone was a few days ago. They were like trying to franchise him and keep him there for the rest of his career, and then that never worked out. There was like this big rumor on Twitter saying, "Oh yeah, Kevin Durant's gonna stay with the Nets for the rest of his career." 24 hours later, gets traded. So I mean, none of this stuff is really real. It's just rumors. And then, of course, all this happens, and it's been like the NBA is like.
What's his contract looking like? What was his trade contract? How much on it? Did they both have a year left? Is that where they?
Yeah, I think it was like a year or something. But like, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if they're playing like musical chairs, basically. Like you're just moving from chair to chair, like you're moving from like team to team. You can't just stay with one because clearly you can't coexist with your teammates, and you're not really a great person in the locker room. Clearly, I mean, coachable is a big thing too. Even for the superstars, they have to be coachable to play. You can't not be coachable and just run the thing all by yourself.
I mean, Kyrie's he's the teammate. Like he's been trying to put up the numbers for Brooklyn, and they've had their injuries at Brooklyn.
I mean,
but how much can you coach how much can you coach him? Like at that level, like what are you coaching him at this point?
I don't know. I mean, even Harden's like, are we going to talk about Harden? I mean, nothing's really.
Yeah, all 3 of them left, right?
Yeah, all 3 of them. They're like.
They're gone.
I mean, I'm not really surprised. Those 3 are the 3 biggest snakes in the whole NBA.
All right, you gotta relax on that.
Just saying. It's a straight up fact though. It is a fact. I mean, I don't know. I think that KD now the Suns.
It'll be interesting to see.
It'll be a little bit different. I mean, because A, you're not in Brooklyn. B, you're on the West Coast now, and C, the Suns have been playing off and on, but they're still hanging in there. They've been doing a lot better than Golden State has, at least that's what I think.
In that division?
What, Western Conference? That's Suns, Warriors, Jazz, Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lakers. Pelicans. Lakers. Yeah. What about jump to the big?
Well, I was gonna bring up Russ. Him getting traded away for.
Yeah, D'Angelo.
For D'Angelo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like an okay trade. Kind of felt bad for Russ being in LA, that flack. It just didn't seem like the right fit. I mean, hopefully I don't know how much. A little
messed up to you.
I don't know how much success he's gonna have at Utah, but we can see where it goes.
Sometimes it's you don't get what you want, but you just gotta accept it and move on with the career.
Yeah, so maybe he starts putting up numbers again over there. Be a leader at that team, and then maybe it's a bigger market.
So, or do you want to jump to the huge topic with the NBA with LeBron James?
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, like it was inevitable.
I mean, we all knew at some point he was gonna break the record. Every single game, he was basically dropping like 30, 40 a game, basically carrying the team on his back. 80 didn't barely stay healthy. Westbrook is just
Well, he's gone. So,
gone now. So,
but
I don't know. I just feel like LeBron's this. You might not like the dude, but you have to respect him. He's an all-time leading scorer now, and nobody can change that.
yep, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna retire this year. He's probably gonna. I say he's got like maybe 3 seasons left max.
His age is like mid-40s,
Yeah, so.
around there. So maybe a few more years.
But he's gonna. I mean, it's just gonna keep adding on. Like whatever. Now, what does he have to break now?
I don't know.
think he's got-
What is there more to break? I mean, doesn't the leading scorer sound pretty
Sounds pretty
top
good.
tier?
What do you say? GOAT status? Or are we gonna talk
I mean,
about that?
that probably is like the biggest one. Can he become the GOAT? I mean, he's been the greatest player, at least in our generation. So, I mean, there's not really, let's face the fact, there hasn't been anyone that's been like him in our generation. So, whether you like that dude or not, you gotta respect him.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have him? What do you have him at?
I mean, I said is he like top 3, like ever, like in that
He's
category.
probably top 3, definitely top 5, but
Definitely top 5.
but
Definitely.
probably top 3.
Top 3, yes. I mean, I can't consider him better than Jordan, at least now. I don't know if I can ever, but you also got to remember that they both played in 2 really different eras. So one was playing in the 80s and 90s. One started in the early 2000s until now. So it's a way different game of basketball back then.
Yeah,
mean-
people are hating on him because of LeBron, because he played long. Like, how is that a bad thing? Like, they're like, oh, well, of course he's gonna break everything if he plays long. Yeah, but like being that great for that long,
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
come on.
not many people.
it's
Hey.
literally the LeBron effect. Like, people forget. Like,
I mean, like you
play
can't.
yeah,
You can't get mad. I mean, the dude wants to play longer. I mean, who's gonna stop him? Like, who's gonna stop him from playing longer? I mean, until he wants to. Just like with Brady, who was gonna stop him? But now he's done. Like until the dude wants to stop playing, he has all the money in the world. So I mean, until he wants to stop, he's just gonna keep playing. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna. I mean, maybe he somehow stays with the Lakers for the rest of his career. Maybe he wins one more title. You never know.
I don't know.
I mean,
Lakers
it's
kind
very
of iffy.
possible. Yeah, well, if they have the best player in the world right now, then I mean, might be iffy, but there's still plenty of basketball to be played. So I mean, it's not like the season's over in a month. Playoffs don't start till like April, May, basically. So finals is always not until June. So it's always plenty of time. So I mean, you never know what could happen with him. I mean, they could go on a big run. There's still like 50, 60 something games left around there. I mean, we're in February, so there's still plenty of time. It's not like they're out of it. They're like below 500, like 5 right now, but they could go on like a 6 or 7 game win streak. I mean,
Yeah, I can see it tough right now with all. The finals winner would probably be, I don't know. Who you got?
finals wise, like
No, like playoff picture. Like now that we've got some pieces moving around, I know deadline's Friday. All right.
yeah, trade deadline, yeah, tomorrow.
So-
that'll be big when we talk about that on our actual podcast tomorrow. The trade deadline, because we could get updates on our phone and just trade stuff that happens.
I don't think any more key pieces are gonna be moving around.
Yeah, I mean the key pieces already happened like earlier in the week, so I mean at least we covered the key pieces. I mean tomorrow there might be like some kind of like small trades, like nothing really big. But
Maybe Lakers go on, get D'Angelo, maybe stirs up the pot a little bit. Hopefully AD stays on the court.
if AD can last the game, maybe LeBron will have some help. It's today.
Oh, I thought it was
I
Friday.
thought it was tomorrow.
Damn.
So just today, not tomorrow. Okay.
Well,
So
that's
I
it.
mean, well then that's really it. There's nothing really more to talk about. I mean, tomorrow we're gonna talk about basically everything, including Super Bowl.
But
3. Okay. So I mean, I'm betting tomorrow we're gonna get a million notifications.
We got who's dead in the water now? That from that trade
What, from the whole LeBron scenario?
from Brooklyn. Who do you got? Who do you got winning that Brooklyn trade? Because they got a lot of people. I know they got some.
I mean, they
couple
did get
round picks.
they got a couple round picks. They got some young talent, I think, too, right? I mean, nothing really like, you know. But I mean, who like won the trade wise? Like, who do you think like won it?
How about Kyrie? Would you consider that a win on Brooklyn behalf?
I say I guess. I mean, clearly he's, like I said before, he wasn't really good with his teammates, and he's, to be honest, he's kind of selfish. So I mean, I guess he got what he wanted. He wanted to be out of Brooklyn, and he got what he deserved, and he got what, you know, he wanted to do, and he just left. I mean, I guess that could be a win scenario just for him individually, but Brooklyn might have won the trade. But I mean, at the end of the day, they're losing a star player that just, you know, can't stay with one team. So
Yeah. Who's the face of the team right now, Brooklyn?
I don't know. It's kind of like dead in the water now because they've lost.
Be
3.
interesting. See how much young talent they get.
Yeah, dead in the water when you're losing 3 superstars now.
But maybe Kyrie going to Mavs isn't that such a bad idea. Maybe gives him a new perspective on things. Because he hasn't been. I don't know.
He hasn't been the same person, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, he hasn't been the same since maybe early Boston.
Maybe. But he was, I mean, with the Cavs, when he was with LeBron, I mean, he was really good too. I mean, early Boston, he was good too. I mean, he's always been a good player. He just can't seem to stay with one team.
Yeah, so maybe put some good numbers. Maybe extension with the Mavs.
Maybe he
And-
stays longer. Maybe he can last longer. You know. And then just 1 year or
Definitely-
a half a year. I don't know.
But I definitely like him. He just hopefully just does better, really. And then we got KD. Could be interesting dynamic with Booker and CP, seeing how much they can get up.
And then, you know, I mean, now that all 3 of them are gone, I mean, now they have brand new teams and brand new everything. So, you know, I mean, it'll be a brand new everything for all of them. And
Now the East is pretty open for the hot Celtics.
Celtics win last night against the Sixers. So, you know, they're rolling. They're clearly going to get a bye, or, you know, they're going to have the number 1 seed at the end of the day. Unless if somebody else comes up and takes it, which I just don't see it. I mean, maybe besides, I mean, 76ers they're good. I mean, the Bucks are good. But, I mean, the Celtics are just, you know.
So
On
they're doing their
top.
thing,
They're
on
doing
top.
their thing. They just keep winning.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just controlling the whole NBA with a snap of their fingers. I mean, it's not really like rocket science. They've been on top the whole year, you know. I mean,
Celtics.
I think that they're gonna, you know, keep the number 1 seed for the rest of the year.
Who's the second best team in the East?
I mean, last night they played the Sixers, and they beat the Sixers last night. I mean, can you consider the Bucks there? Maybe.
It's probably still Bucks number 2, especially if Chris Middleton stays healthy.
Yeah, Chris Middleton's
Can't count out Giannis, but it's just amazing that Brooklyn was like winning 10 in a row, like feels like a month ago, and
And
now they're
then-
just completely blown up.
They lost literally everybody. That was really good for them. I mean,
Is LeBron the best player in history?
That's
Where do you rank him?
I ranked him at like, I guess I could rank him at like 3, or because Vince said like, is he top 5? I'm like, yes, he's top 5, but I could rank him at 3. You know, you might not like the dude, but you gotta respect him. You know.
Yeah, I would put him in the top 3. I think it's hard to put bigs in there because it's just a totally different game.
That's what we were talking about. We were talking about like how both Jordan and LeBron played at 2 eras. One played in the 80s and 90s. One played in the 2000s and now.
It's just weird how LeBron was labeled a perennial loser for so long. Those first couple years in Cleveland, and then he hopped on a helicopter to Miami and got one.
Then he hopped back to Chicago and just, you know, Chicago.
Cleveland, yeah.
Cleveland just came right back and just did it again.
Yeah, but he was like A-Rod. He was like just labeled a perennial loser for so long,
And people just couldn't stand him.
and then, I mean, I agree. He's top 5. It's just Jordan, Magic was so good. Kareem was so
Larry
good.
was insane.
Larry Bird was so good. I think he's probably going to go down in history better than Larry Bird, but Larry Bird had that killer instinct. I mean, Kobe was a killer.
Kobe was just insane. Nobody can I think Kobe's just in that order, definitely. Just the way that Kobe played. I mean, it's like saying like him and Shaq. Like him and Shaq might not have the best relationship together on the court wise or outside of the court, but they still won a bunch of championships together and proved themselves to be one of the greatest duos in the history of the NBA.
I think that's part of the problem with Kobe. I think that people talk about the greatest all time. They give Kobe less credit because he played with Shaq. It's like that Brady and Belichick. It was like Kobe and Shaq. If Kobe just did it all by himself, it'd be different. But nobody looks at LeBron and says LeBron and Kyrie or LeBron and Wade and Bosh. LeBron, he got his titles, but he had help too. So I don't know. It's interesting. All right, as you were.
I mean, Jordan also had Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman.
Well, those teams were loaded. Don't forget about John Paxson.
John Paxton. What's his name? Ron Harper.
Harper.
What's his name? I can't think of the guy's name.
Horace Grant.
Yeah, and this guy was like he was like a power forward. I can't think of this guy's name. I don't know, but
Yeah, Jordan had help too.
Jordan had a bunch of help for sure. I mean, it's not like they just did it on their own. It might be in that sport, like we always say, that sport might be the superstar sport, but you're gonna need more than one person just to carry your entire team because
Agreed.
one person's not gonna win you the whole thing.
Agreed.
I don't care if it's the NBA. It's just the way it is.
About you, Vince?
What about you? What do you got?
I mean, I definitely see MJ as he's probably number one. I mean, on your list as well,
Absolutely.
because of just that this like ferocity that he brought to the team, and that not him trying to be number one. It's just him. He just was number one, and that ability to control his team. I just think that, yeah, LeBron probably overall is probably a good, not better player, but I don't know. It's just that, and people bring up 6-0 in the finals, and then just that that mentality around MJ.
No, I agree. What else you got before we wrap up?
Nothing much. Just trade deadline stuff, big NBA talk.
I'm sure tomorrow, once we do our actual podcast, we could maybe we get some small trades. Maybe we'll definitely get some.
What's the All-Star game?
The All-Star game is isn't it next week or something, like the 19th or something? Around there. It's I know it's in a week or two. So All-Star game, 3-point competition, dunk, the futures, everything's in a week or two. So we're
I know.
All-Star break coming up.
Yeah, Pro Bowl version 2. No, I'm gonna watch it.
No, I mean, me and Vince like the MLB All-Star game a lot though, for sure. Those are fun to watch sometimes, especially when the Stars last. Okay, that's Alan Vince's episode 3. We'll be back tomorrow with our podcast.